Hey guys, coming at you with 6-5. Platelets. 3 slides. How's that, Susan? Is that not too long for you? Okay. So anyway, we talked about red blood cells, we talked about white blood cells. Now we need to talk about platelets. Platelets are still considered a formed, no, I can't think of the word, formed component because of the fact that it does come from a cell. But it's not a true cell in the sense of what a cell is. So, what is a platelet? A platelet is a cytoplasmic fragment of large cells called megakaryocytes. Mega, big, karyocyte. Cyte cell, karyo refers to the nucleus. So, big cell with a big old fat nucleus in it. So, these are just little chunks and fragments of. When we stain them with the right stain, they end up being kind of bluish on the outside, and they have a little granules on the inside that look purpley polka dotty. So when you look at a slide, you'll see just little kind of bluish purple fragments all over the place. They contain chemicals that aid in the clotting process, such as serotonin, which was one of the things on the crossword. They also have calcium ions, excuse me, enzymes, ADP, and growth factor, all which are important for the clotting process, which we will get into in 6-6. So we kind of need to know about platelets before we do that. They also help to form a temporary plug to help seal up bleeds, and they only live for about 10 days. So once they're done, they're done. All right. How are they formed? Platelets, right here, are formed by or regulated. Let me try that again. The formation is regulated by the hormone called thrombopoietin. There's that poe part again, meaning formation. Thrombo. So that thrombo part has to do with clots. So a thrombocyte is another word for platelet. And they form a thrombus, which is a blood clot. Okay, so anytime you see thrombo, think blood clot. All right, so here's what happens. We have our stem cell, the hemocytoblast, which is the same one that we had for the other types of cells. They turn into a megakaryoblast. Remember, blast means to build. That turns into a pro-megakaryocyte, pro meaning first or before, megakaryocyte. Then it turns into a megakaryocyte, which then turns into platelets. And you can tell that the cytoplasm kind of extends outwards and breaks off into little bitty fragments. And there's your platelets. So it's kind of bluish on the outside, kind of purplish on the inside. And how they do this, what happens is kind of interesting. They hang out here in the bone marrow, and a blood vessel will go by. And so the megakaryocyte, they kind of infiltrate your bloodstream with these little cytoplasmic extensions, and then they break off, and that forms your platelets. So here is just regular blood flow, and here's a megakaryocyte. Here's your blood cell on the way to being formed. And so when they're ready, the red blood cell will pop in here. But the megakaryocyte will just kind of reach into your bloodstream and break off into little bitty chunks. And those are your platelets. Here is a stain of red blood cells, kind of what we've been looking at. Here's a lymphocyte right there. And then all these little, just kind of not quite anything else. Those are your platelets right there. So that's it. Yay, we're done. Unless you want to see my backyard. You want to see my backyard? You ready? See? There's my backyard. There's swing set. There's my house. There's my cool little garden over there. All right, there's my backyard. Yay. All right, see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.